Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Put that in every single comment that you have to say. From here on in, we are hard, all in to release the Zack Snyder Cut, and you guys will see why as I go through this video, looking at Justice League members, the statues of them from Prime One Studio. Let's get into it then. Let's get into it, y'all. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so first of all, Prime One Studio Superman. This is Batman v Superman. I love this actually version of Henry Cavill we see here because this actually looks really, really nice. Look at the detail on this. This is actually half scale. This is Batman v Superman. Why did I pick this one versus, say, another Superman? Let me just zoom out. Why did I pick this versus the Justice League? I find the Justice League Superman looks a little too serious. He still looks like Henry Cavill, by the way, and I'll show you in a minute. But this is the Superman, and the suit is not that much different as well. So let's just look at him there. It's just a statue. This is the base. It's much more simple base. The Justice League Superman base is much more elaborate. I'll show you in a minute. Oh, look at Superman, man. Oh, this is just fantastic looking. It is very expensive. I'm gonna just tell you that. It's very expensive. Prime One Studios, though. I really liked the Batman v Superman. I thought the part, of course, is on the left side. It's on the right side of his face, though, versus the left side of his face. I'll just pull this down so you can see. But look at the detail on this guy. It's fantastic. Definitely looks like Henry Cavill. Anyways, you guys know about this already, so let me show you the Justice League Superman in a second. Ooh, look at that. Look at that, Henry Cavill. That looks like Henry Cavill, doesn't it? No doubt about that, right? Anyway, let me just show you the Justice League Superman. Boom. So this is the Justice League Superman from Prime One Studios. I find the face is a little too serious, but it comes with accessories. So we got this the heat vision, heat ray eye Superman. He kind of looks a little bit mean there. Kind of looks almost evil. Maybe that was, I don't know if he turned evilish a bit in Justice League. Here he is. But I no doubt about it. He comes with a mother box. Look at the base. The base is so elaborate. Look at that base. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that is beautiful, isn't it? And he comes with a mother box. I think this is the mother box of Mankind. So you get all those accessories with it. This is the exclusive edition, I believe, or alternate edition, because it has the glowing red eyes. Definitely looks like Henry Cavill there. And there's the part on this side of the head. Look at that. That is so... It's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, look at that. That is fantastic. But I find this one's a little too serious. At least it should have had a smiling face somewhere, a relaxed face, because at the end of Justice League Superman is basically, you know, that beacon of hope to the world. And you see him split the shirt open, and Zack had all of that planned. So, you know, I was listening to the rumors going around how this Superman here, you know, in the Zack Snyder cut, you know, he turns evil, and there's like this, you know, that dark side kind of turns him evil, and, you know, Justice League, the Justice League movie ends, and it has to go in a cliffhanger, and then we go back to dark side, and they, in Justice League 2, I don't know about that. All I can tell you is, when we see the Snyder cut, I believe it basically follows what we saw for Justice League already. I don't think there are any huge changes in the plot of the movie. What I do think, though, is that, and of course, earlier on, you know, they were going to have Justice League 1 and 2, and then they decided on just one Justice League movie. And that was what they were going along all the time. It's like people talking about Steppenwolf, and, you know, he was going to be this beastly monster. Yeah, that was early on, but then later on they changed it. You know, they changed them pretty early on in the game, because it takes a lot of time to do the CG for these things and render. Right now, James Wan's talking about Aquaman, and it's taking a mighty long time for the rendering of that stuff. Oh, that looks like Henry Cavill. Look at that from the side. That definitely looks like Henry Cavill, man. Look at that. Oh, so gorgeous. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the statue. Oh, look at that. It's just he's so damn serious, though. That's the only downside to it. And you notice the apocalyptic sort of design here. The base here. It's beautiful. All right. Anyways, I want to show you guys the rest of them, so let me move along pretty quickly here. This is BVS Batman. I think this is the best bat suit I've seen. I love the BBS Batman suit more than the Justice League Batman suit. Look at that thing. Oh, gosh. Again, the stand is pretty standard, pretty simple. Different angles, it kind of looks weird, the Batman, but that looks great. It depends on when the lighting hits it. It's fantastic right there. I think this is also half scale like the BVS Superman. I think the other one is not half scale, or maybe it is. I don't know. I think it's 33 and something inches. So there you go. It looks like Ben Affleck as well. Oh, that's just beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Wow. It's fantabulous. And then we have Justice League Batman. And it's remarkable too, don't get me wrong. It looks fantastic. Look at that thing. Especially with all the special effects that we see here. And then just zoom in on it there. Look at that. But at certain angles, the cowl is not that great. But this is the exclusive where you get Ben Affleck's head. Look at that. That looks just like Ben Affleck, doesn't it? This doesn't look so much like Ben Affleck. This particular angle here. You didn't quite get him there, but this angle here, you definitely see him. You see that's Ben right there. I love it without the cowl. It looks fantastic without the cowl as well. Look at that. That is something. And these are they're about, I think they're going to make like 800 of these, if so much. There he is with the cowl. It's not as emphatic as the other cowl from BVS. It's not as emphatic in my opinion. It's still fine though. It's still fine. Look at that. Ah, the scowl. He even got the bat symbol on it. I thought that's really cool to see that. Oh, look at that thing. It's fantastic, isn't it? I tell you. Oh, just like, oh, look at that. You know, that's another thing. That's why we have to get hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Because remember that scene where Batman was just standing over the thing and the lightning flashing and he was just looking down. Oh my God, you got to get that camera angle, that shot. You know, as a fanboy, you know, you just got to see those scenes. I mean, Zack Snyder has so many of those fanboy scenes in his in that Justice League cut that we just have to see it, man. Look at that thing. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, gosh. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, come on now. Come on now. Isn't that epic Batman right there? That's Batman. Oh, gosh. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, when you've read comic books and when you've seen comics, and then you see these iconic figures just like in the comics, you know, and Zack does that so well, you know, and then you go and see a movie and you don't exactly see all that you saw in the trailers. You was like amped up for that, you know. That's why we have to get hashtag release the Snyder Cut. I don't hate the Justice League movie that I saw. You guys know that. But there's just so much other connective tissue that Zack has and much more footage to show us with different things that I definitely want to see it, you know. And I'm just showing you guys this to talk on that. Of course, this is from Wonder Woman. Again, this is actually a beautiful likeness to Gal Gadot, and that's why I like Prime One Studios. They really are the premier of statues. When it comes to statues, they really give a good likeness. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, but you've seen this before, so I'm going to speed through this, and then we're going to go to Wonder Woman from Justice League very soon. For first, I just want to show you this. Oh, look at that beautiful design right there. And this is just, oh my gosh, this is just fantastic, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Even the hair and everything, there's just so much detail going on there. And it looks like Gal. From almost every angle, it looks like Gal. They did a brilliant job there on this figure. I'm not going to lie to you. They spent a lot of work, and they really put in that work on that figure, didn't they? Look at that. That's fantastic. Zoom in a little bit here. Look at that. They really put in some work there, because that's as close as I've ever seen a figure look to Gal Gadot. And here again is another one. This one's not as accurate as the rest of them, but they tried. See, there's a little bit of, but there is a moment in here. I'll show you. Let's see if I can find it, where the figure actually looks like Gal. I'm gonna try and find it somewhere here. A lot of detail going into that figure, and it's a big figure. I heard it's a very big figure. Oh, we'll find it in a minute. All this doesn't exactly look like Gal, the shot angles, but at a particular angle, it does look like Gal. Let's see if we can find it. Here, not so much. There it is, right there. Look at that. Now it looks like Gal, through and through. That angle, they really get her right there. The nose, the mouth, the proportions, everything. The face, the shape of the face and everything. They catch her right there. They don't do it all the time, but they caught her right there. That's definitely Gal right there. So, you know. But let's get to Wonder Woman, right, from Justice League. So this is where she is. This kind of looks like Gal. I mean, it does much better than almost all the other their hot toys and that kind of stuff. Primal Studios here trying to really get the likeness of Gal. That looks like Gal in that lighting. I love this royal thing here, and that's the exclusive right there. There she is standing over the thing again. A lot of apocalyptic kind of design stuff. Again, I didn't find that they did the apocalyptic design in the version of Justice we saw in the theater very well. We had saw the template, but then we see this goop-de-gar kind of purple-looking thing, and I was like, what's going on there? That doesn't fit in with what I saw with everything else, you know, in the Great War and stuff. So I just need Zack to do what he does best. Zack does action in a whole different kind of way, and so I just want to see what Zack would have done with that. You know, I just feel like the ending is it's lacking some stuff. You know what I mean? It's missing out a lot of action. There's a lot of action scenes for the ending that we saw some of it in the trailers and stuff that we're missing. So, you know, I know Zack would have, you know, done justice with that. And I'm telling you, if you love the Justice League, you're gonna love what Zack Snyder is putting forward. You know, in his cut, and that's why hashtag release the Snyder Cut is so important. You know, but look at this figure. I mean, come on now. Look at that. And you also get a bust with her doing the cross hand stuff here. So you get both. I think she also does a cross arm. Yes, there it is. She also has a pose where she crosses her arms for the statue. So they give you, she crosses her arms here. She has her arms on the side here. So you get, seems that you get some appendages for the bust where you can actually cross her arms here and cross her arms here. That's so dope. Look at this. And she gets the sword and everything. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And she can also have the sword and shield on her. Let me just see here. Let me see something here. Yeah, she doesn't have no sword and shield here, but now she has the sword and shield on her here. That's so cool. That's so dope. Oh man. So yeah, Wonder Woman, man. And in Justice League, she was dope as hell, man. She was awesome. Oh, look at that shield and look at that sword. Oh man, look at that. So I love to see what Zack Snyder has in store. Okay, this download a little slow. And again, the likeness is not off of Gal per se, but it's just that they don't get her beak properly. They try to get the teeth in there, and it doesn't quite look like Gal when her mouth is open. Maybe if they kept her mouth closed, it would have been better. You can see that it looks like Gal from afar and stuff, but it's not quite her. You know what I mean? It's not quite her. See, from the side, it's not quite her. She has much more of a sort of apple sort of looking chin, and the nose is a little bit off. Maybe it's just the angle at which I'm looking at it. Yeah. But it's not quite her. Anyways, oh, look at that. Yeah, that's so awesome. That is awesome. So yeah, that's Gal right there. We have Aquaman. Look at that. Jason Momoa. I can't wait for Jason Momoa's Aquaman. We've not been hearing much from it from James Wan. We haven't heard much about Aquaman. F11. Come on, disappear. All right. We haven't been hearing a lot from James Wan concerning Aquaman, but I'm definitely looking forward to Aquaman. I saw Zack Snyder kind of promoting it a little bit. And this is, of course, the Atlantis mother box casing and mother box. Again, we have this apocalyptic thing on the base here. I'm not quite sure why that's all, but it is what it is. And you see the seafloor and the seashells and stuff there. That's really cool. Love the detail. And look at that. That looks like Jason Momoa, doesn't it? Look at that thing. Look at the detail on that thing. I don't quite get to hear, but it's cool, though. That is dope. Look at that. Look at that stuff, man. That is so cool. I haven't heard a lot about Aquaman, but hopefully we can get some more information on Aquaman. I'm looking forward to Aquaman really a lot. Look at that detail right there. Look at that detail. That's fantastic. And he seems to have multiple poses. You can see he's holding the quatrident, or whatever it's called. You see his hands out. He's holding the quatrident downwards now. You see he's holding it with two fists. So I guess there are some extra poses you can have with it. And the trident's up in the air and all of that. It's really cool. It's really cool. Multiple poses. That is dope. That is dope, man. Gosh. Guys, you gotta understand, I really love this stuff. Oh. And then, of course, I gotta come to my favorite Justice League character, which is Cyborg. I can't wait for his own movie, or whenever they do it. You know, again, there was a lot of stuff with Aquaman and Cyborg that we didn't really get. We know that there was supposed to be some scenes, some sets with him as a football player. We know that we were supposed to see some scenes with him in action, Cyborg actually learning things and flying and all that kind of stuff. And then we have him also escaping with the mother box and the parademon searching for things in the apartment and all that stuff. We didn't get all of that. And this depiction of Cyborg is pretty much dead on when it comes to Ray Fisher's likeness. Look at that. You know, oh, look at that thing, man. Look at that. And this is just exclusive edition, so that means he has some extra features. I want to show you that now. See, there's his weapons. That's his sonic cannon, and this is another sonic cannon, I assume. He also had something where he could just fire off missiles, and it's crazy what Cyborg can do. He can do all kinds of things. He also has a shield. But really, the excellent part about this whole thing, which I want to show you, and this does look like a likeness of Ray Fisher. This looks really close to it, but he's got this extra feature, which is, gotta get to it. Let's see if I can find it. It's somewhere here. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Just hold on a second. Hold on a second. We're gonna get to it. This Cyborg, there's his head. It really looks like Ray Fisher. Quite a likeness of him. Oh, that. We didn't see Cyborg in his battle suit, man. His battle gear. You got to get that battle gear. That's why we must get the release of Snyder Cut. We have to, man. Gotta see him gear up in battle gear, man. That's one of the awesome parts of Cyborg, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We didn't see that, man. That's why we need to have released the Snyder Cut. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Alright. There we got the Flash. And again, they do such a great likeness, and this is of course the Amazonian mother box, which we saw split open and everything, the casing for the Amazonian mother box. But there's Ezra Miller, and the likeness of Ezra Miller again, very much like Ezra. Look at that. Look at that likeness. Oh, so nice. And this is a prototype, by the way. These are prototypes. See, prototype shown. But man, look at that. So likeness of Ezra is right down to the nutshell. I hope they can nail him really, really well, so it really looks like Ezra. There's still a paleness to the figure, the face. The face is not quite like Ezra in terms of paleness, but oh man, this is. And of course, Ezra had all the show stealing shots. The scene with him and Superman, the scene with him and Wonder Woman, you know, in the underground tunnel. You know, Superman in the Memorial Park. Come on now. You know. And of course, there's a couple other scenes we will get to see that Zack Snyder also shot with Ezra Miller as the Flash or as Barry Allen, you know, saving Iris West and so on. I want to see all of that. I want to see everything. That's why we need to release the Snyder Cut, man. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Don't forget to put release the Snyder Cut in the comment section if you like this. Don't forget that. We need to send a strong message to Warner Brothers, man. We definitely want the Snyder Cut. I mean, you know, a lot of us supported the Justice League theatrical run. We got the DVD, got the Blu-ray, but now we're not going to be satisfied. The chapter can't be closed until you release the Snyder Cut. You know what I'm saying? I know they're working on it with Zack, but still we still got to put the pressure on them. Look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah. The Flash is just one of those figures one of those characters in comic books just wows our imagination. You know, our imagination goes wild when we think about the Flash. Because just the fact that he moves so fast, you know, and Ezra Miller's Flash, in my opinion, was a clash between Quicksilver and in The Matrix Reloaded. I don't know if you guys know about it. The vampire that was running on the walls, chasing down Neo. To me, it's a kind of a blend of those two. You know, in X-Men Apocalypse, we saw Quicksilver move fast, but he seemed more like a parody. Zack took the physics of the Flash's movement, the slow-mo and the natural speed, and he just did this special sort of thing with the effects that I'd never seen before. And to see the Flash running around the circular walls of the underground tunnel, the shaft that goes up the vent of the tunnel, and then when he trips and he falls in a circle. He's going around in a circle because he's moving so fast. His the centripetal force allows him to just keep on staying on the wall and tripping along the wall. It's just so crazy. I mean, I wish Zack could have panned out so we could see him just kind of going down in a spiral down the wall and crashing onto the steps. That's how sick it was. You couldn't actually see that, but that would have been awesome to watch. You know, the Flash is just so fast. And what I like about it, and to kind of make that point, let me just move on to another Flash, because all Flashes are interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. I think when I first saw the Flash in CW, it was when the Arrow was firing an arrow at a bullseye. And the Flash just came from wherever he came from and caught that arrow. That wowed us, you know. And so Grant Gustin's version of the Flash is also very fascinating. In fact, Grant Gustin, this is not Grant Gustin running here. This is actually Prime One Studios' depiction of him in a statue. So this is actually a statue you're looking at with Grant Gustin's Flash running. And it's the only statue of a CW character that you will find Prime One Studios doing. That's how popular Grant Gustin's Flash is. And while I do prefer Ezra Miller's to Grant Gustin's Flash, a Flash is a Flash is a Flash. In the 90s Flash, Grant Gustin's Flash, Ezra Miller's Flash, which is more theatrical than it is TV, but all Flashes are interesting because they're just so fast, and it's just nice to watch them. We're fascinated by speed, and even if the Flash hasn't broken the space-time barrier, it's just seeing things from his perspective is just mind-boggling, and it was always very interesting. And with Ezra Miller's Flash, of course, the warping of space, you can see that the Flash is kind of warping space as he moves. You know, and basically you can't see him when he's moving fast. You really can't see him, so you have to look at it from his perspective and how the world is looking, how sound is being generated, like when he's talking out loud, how the sound is just disappearing from him and is echoing all around him and stuff. I love it. I love Ezra Miller's Flash. Again, you know, it's Zack Snyder we're talking about. That's why we have to get #release the Snyder Cut. You know, we need more, not less now. We need more. You know, the longer it is, the happier we are. That's why the people who are asking for the Snyder Cut, they're asking for it for a reason. Okay, so, you know, Warner Bros. Should really pay attention to that. But yes, this is the CW Flash, and they got the likeness of Grant Gustin pretty well here. They really did. It's kind of funky how he's running, but other than that, it's really fun to watch. And he kind of traditionally moves like the Flash, but he doesn't dress traditionally like the Flash. He's a different dress, but when it comes to the understanding of how the Flash moves and stuff, he's more conventional. Ezra Miller's Flash is more of it's more like they say he kind of slides a bit because he's moving so fast. So he actually moves around in a much more interesting way in terms of he kind of slides around the ground because he's moving so fast, right? Of course, you won't see all that when he's coming out of how fast he's moving. Then you see him and he's kind of skidding into place, you know. And it's interesting. The comics kind of have that too with the Flash, and the video games, and the animated series and animated series and animated movies. They actually have the Flash skidding along because, you know, he's coming out of and it makes sense. If you're moving that fast with inertia, you're gonna skid. You can't just stop immediately, you know. So it's, you know, and so he kind of skates along sometimes on the ground. So there's sort of skating motion. So that's really cool. Anyway, if you guys really enjoyed this video, because I'm just showing you statues, and yeah, these are statues, believe it or not, and they're the top of the line statues. They're very expensive. Like they cost $200 to $300 Some of these statues cost like $600 and $900 almost $1,000 So it's a lot of money for these statues. But it's really, you pay a lot of money. You pay good money for a good rendition of these characters if you love them. So if you want to get them, you know, you can invest, pay a certain amount every month, whatever. But at the end of the day, I use these statues to say that we need that Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. That's the whole point behind doing all of this stuff. And I leave you with the Flash in front of your face. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to put #release the Snyder cut after you're done. You guys have a great night.